Welcome to Get to the Point. I'm your host, Jessica Spahn, and I'm excited today to bring you a show highlighting the importance of recreation and community, brought to you by the Keller Pointe. Join us each episode and be inspired as we bring you conversations with community leaders who share their experiences, expertise, and explore the role that recreation plays in sustaining well-being and success. What are we waiting for? Let's get to the point. Welcome to Get to the Point. I'm your host, Jessica Spahn, and this is a show about recreation and community, brought to you by the Keller Pointe. Today we have some special guests, but I want to lead off with explaining why I have this sash and where it came from. So our guests have to do with the sash, but are unrelated to this specific sash. I said sash a lot, so you're going to hear that a few times in the show. My friend Ashley from Tudor Revolution actually made this for me with a little kitty cat on here because she knows I love cats. And so I wasn't sure if I was allowed to wear it or if it would be a faux pas with the actual Miss Keller organization, but I'm going to find out today if that's okay. I'm here with Kennedy, who is the new, as of October what?
October 1st.
October 1st. She's the new Miss Keller. And then I'm here with Michelle Donato, who is over the
executive director.
The executive director. You must make it sound all fancy.
It has to be fancy. Always fancy.
Absolutely. Yes. Of the Miss Keller organization, right?
Correct.
Okay, awesome. Mm-hmm. So I actually met you at a gala for KISD back in March, May, something like that.
I believe so. Yeah, at the foundation gala.
I've been excited ever since then.
Thank you.
I remember we talked about the podcast and here we are. So
glad to be here.
So you guys know Ashley, I heard.
We do.
Okay.
Yeah, so Ashley actually has worked as not worked.
Yeah. Volunteer.
She has served and volunteered
she volunteers so much.
As a chaperone for me. So we have to have chaperones for the young ladies when they're in the community. And I was in a pension. Ashley stepped in for me and introduced our Miss Keller 2020-21 to our mayor, Armin Mazzani.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, I'll take the sash off now. But so is it officially a faux pas or is it because when I was out and about at the event, people were like, congratulations. And I'm like,
oh, how funny.
Oh no. I'm the marketing specialist at the Keller Pointe. My friend made this. This is just a fun way to do marketing because you're interacting with me.
Right.
So I didn't know if I should ever wear it out or if it would bring shame.
Oh, absolutely. No, it is so cute. And for us, it's an honor.
Right here.
You know, it's an honor for people to
view it that way.
To view pageantry and to remember. Yeah. Pageantry. Right?
I love it because I know nothing about it. Yeah. So I'm excited to find out about it with you guys and then let our guests know more about what all happens with that. So
of course.
I'm going to start with Kennedy. I'm taking this off though just because I'm going to respect the actual Miss Keller today. So Kennedy.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to know what it was like leading up to that pageant. I'm sure you were nervous.
Well,
right?
I was nervous because it was my first year competing as a Miss. What? And I was transitioning from being a teen. So it was kind of different. And as I told Michelle when I was competing at Miss Keller, my platform is focusing on mental health. And
I love it.
My mental health was not the best during the pageant because I felt like I had a lot of mishaps going on.
Yeah.
But I just sat and I prayed and I just kept working hard in every single phase of competition. And it was by God's grace that I got Miss Keller.
Yay! Oh, I love that story. And I also love, I had been looking over some of the stuff that Michelle had sent me that you have. And you reference I don't know if it's positivity mindset or what was it that you speak about on that your focus that you like to talk on.
Yes. So the positive perspective, that's my social impact statement. And it focuses on mental health. Okay. And a lot of people have a different perspective on life when they are trying to achieve a goal or trying to achieve whatever they have their aspirations set on. It might have a negative effect because something negative might happen.
I don't want that. Might happen. You're hilarious.
I don't want that negative toll to take a toll on their mindset. Yeah. So I want them to always stay in a positive mindset.
Absolutely. I love that because we were talking earlier. I was just in a car accident recently, last week, and I just step by step. You just take the next step. I got the car to the shop. It was on the railroad tracks, so I was just grateful that there was no train.
Thank God.
Right? So there's little things that you just have to, even if it seems like life is lifing you, you just have to constantly go, next.
Yes.
And like, and be hopeful and believe
positive.
Yes, ma'am.
that, I'm like, honestly, when that happened, I was like, well, what good thing is going to come out of this?
There you are.
Right. You can always look for the good in every situation, no matter how bad it is, there's something positive you can pull out of it.
Yeah. You never know. A connection with somebody or, I mean, the tow truck guy was so nice because he let me know that he was going to charge me because I'm kind of out of it when that happens. And he was like, I think your car's drivable. You can just go up the street. He's like, otherwise I'm going to have to charge you for the tow. And I was like, you were so sweet because most people would have just towed me and been like, here's the bill.
Right.
I was like, thank you so much. So yeah, you never know. And then good things come out of bad things. So I love it. And mental health is a huge, I don't want to say issue, like it's the awareness is a big,
absolutely.
It's the spotlighted a lot recently coming out of COVID, especially.
That's actually the reason why I chose my platform, because coming out of COVID, I was going into my junior year, fall of 2020. And junior year is always the most stressful year of high school. But for me, I was juggling being a title holder, a competitive dancer, and then I was taking all AP classes. And so it was a lot for me to handle. And I remember kind of towards spring of 2021, my mental health started kind of going downhill because I was trying to handle and juggle all those things. And I knew I couldn't. And I probably was just really, really hard on myself. And so I knew that that was something I wanted to bring awareness to because I found my way out of it and I found my positive way out of it. So I wanted to switch my focus on my platform to focus on that so I can help others find their positive way out of things.
I love that. And we'll touch base more on that because I'm curious how you found what your way looked like.
Yes.
But I did want to talk to Michelle for a second. How did this get started? I don't really understand pageants. I don't know how you do what you do. I don't know what you do.
Right.
So to everybody else who feels like me, explain.
So for me, the Miss America organization began in 1921.
Okay.
So years before I was born, clearly, right?
Many years.
But I grew up watching Miss America and Miss USA and Miss Universe with my mom. I mean, that was our sport of choice.
And you hope they didn't trip.
Right. Oh, well, but then when they trip, it's kind
or did
fun,
you hope they trip?
As long as your candidate doesn't trip.
Okay,
right? Right, but then it's still fun. So, yes, I have always been involved in pageantry. From being a spectator, I competed as well. I was Miss Juneteenth, 1990. That's kind of a hot thing now, but I was also Miss Black Texas, 1989. Nice. I competed in the Miss Texas system, won Most Talented Actress, and I'm really aging myself here.
That's okay.
But that was 1991.
Yeah.
So I've directed competitions. I've judged competitions. So being a Keller resident and having been here for 26 years, it was important to me to bring the title to our city. The last time before 2020, Keller had a title holder was 1975.
Really?
Which is also the last year that Miss Texas won Miss America.
Oh, interesting.
So,
So you kind of just brought to life back something that used to exist.
We did. And I'm not the original director that brought it back this year. I was a volunteer the first 9 months or so of the organization. And then I took over.
We all know volunteers are...
I was
they're just unpaid.
Super volunteer.
It's the same difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's exciting.
But it was important for me to have Keller represented on that stage and on that platform, and to bring this opportunity to young women in Keller as well.
Yeah, well, because
it's a scholarship organization. We are.
It's such a, and like Mazzani's always saying, he wants it to be the most family friendly city. I think in Texas. I think I've joked about in America, but
why not?
I mean, exactly.
Why not? Reach for the stars, right?
So I feel like this is like, it's such a good thing to highlight because even so, 4th of July, I saw you guys out there. Explain how that happened, because I heard that they didn't have someone. And
so it's my job to go into the community and seek opportunities for these young women. It's important for me, for people to know that they're not just beautiful. Kennedy is clearly a beautiful, very elegant young woman, right?
Right.
But it's important for me for people to know that she also speaks well.
Yeah.
That she also has a vision, that she also has a mind, and she has goals. That's so important for people to understand that. So for me, my job is to seek partnerships in the community where the young women can be involved, where they are ambassadors for So ambassadors for businesses, if someone is having a ribbon cutting or if they are having a sale.
Oh, hey, then we're going to need y'all to come when our indoor pool opens again.
Yes.
Because it's finally going to open soon.
There you are. We'll
November-ish.
Miss Keller, Miss Keller's outstanding teen out there swimming, right? We're encouraging people to swim.
Absolutely for that.
Why not?
I will go.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. That's my job. My job is to enforce that and to let the community know that they're available.
Yeah. How did that work out?
They are for the community.
Yeah. So you guys spoke with Jordan or what happened?
I did. Okay. So I called Jordan up. I don't remember exactly.
And she's the events. She does events for the city of Keller.
She's the event coordinator, I believe, for the city of Keller. And I let her know that they love to speak.
Yeah.
And she said, well, we need someone to host. Said, absolutely, they can do it because we've trained them to.
Right.
We've trained them to. So we know that they can do it. And Alana Bruce and Remedy Dixon were Miss Keller and Miss Keller's outstanding team before. And they carried the entire show. They were amazing. Absolutely. Which is to no surprise of mine.
Absolutely. I mean, that's so, for like the future, that's such a great thing to have under your belt, basically, like getting in front of audiences of that size.
How many? 25,000 people, I believe, were there.
27.
20,
I can't remember
better.
exactly. Yeah.
Even better.
But I mean, to get that out of the way, that's something that I didn't really learn until I was older, realizing I enjoy being on camera. I enjoy speaking to people because I enjoy sharing joy and messages and positivity and stuff. Yes. And to do that, you need a platform of sorts.
Ma'am.
You do.
So I was in my mid-30s when I realized this. And that's kind of full circle how I ended up with working with Jeff Curley's team through meeting him. And he mentored me some and got me okay with being on the air. Like you are now. Have you had a lot of opportunities before, Miss Keller, to do things like this?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
So, like I said earlier before, I was a teen in the Miss Texas organization. So I served as Miss Dallas County's outstanding team, Miss Carrollton's outstanding team, Miss Mansfield's outstanding team, and Miss Grapevine's outstanding team. And so throughout those teen years, I've had opportunities to speak to larger audiences like that. And then also in the Miss America organization, they train you. You go through interview training. And then me personally, even though I'm competing and I'm in front of those judges, I use that kind of as a practice opportunity as well. Even if I win the competition or not, it's you being able to speak. And so being able to be presented with those opportunities, it gives me, that confidence and it gives me that boost to be able to speak to more larger audiences in the future.
I love that. That's why I was really interested to find out more about the pageants. What else? So I know you were speaking about doing etiquette training?
So in addition to being the director of Miss Keller, I own the Southern Etiquette Society where I teach etiquette classes.
So we can learn protocol and which fork to eat our salad
Absolutely.
with. Very important. It is important though because you go to some of these like VIP or like
you want to know the rules,
galas. Right? You don't want to look like you don't belong.
You don't. You don't. You want to know the rules before you walk in the door.
Absolutely.
So we should do a refresher course.
That's why I was like, should I even wear the sash? Is that breaking like an unwritten rule?
No, I love that. The respect and the protocol, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
No, and we should totally do a refresher course because I don't think I've actually ever had any training. I've just kind of gotten around wealthy people at times and been at events and figured it out. This is my soup spoon.
And that's what I teach. Honestly, it's if you don't know, kind of look around the room. Right.
Oh, and watch
you look around the room and watch someone who you think knows. Right?
Yeah, hopefully
they look like they know what they're doing. Just follow them.
That's
if you haven't been trained.
And so you have been in Keller 26 years?
I'm a 26-year resident of Keller.
Okay.
27 years in March.
And you were telling me earlier that you have been to the Keller Pointe.
I have. So I'm a mother of 4.
Okay.
Most important job.
Did you spend summers out by the pool?
Yes. Yes. So all of my children, we were there clearly before the Keller Pointe came. Our family was extremely excited to have a recreation center in Keller. So we joined as a family, had a family membership. All of my children took swim classes there.
Yeah.
They played basketball. They, lifted weights. They walked the track. I mean, we have birthday parties.
Yes. And those are coming back. Thank God now that the pool's opening.
So many cute pictures of my kids at birthday parties at Keller.
I feel like I need you to send me some so I can use it to market.
I will do that. They might kill me, but I will do it
anyway.
They're
old enough to not care, right?
Well,
no.
They should be.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I did want to, you've done Zumba.
I have done
Tell
Zumba
me more.
at Keller. So Zumba,
Tell me more.
Yeah. So I have done Zumba, and I was laughing earlier because one of the last classes I took, I'm not, I was really great in aerobics before, but as I've gotten older, things have changed. My body has shifted. So I was doing my little Zumba and I got tired, a little bit winded. And this sweet, thin, cute young lady next to me just looked at me and goes, "Bless your heart."
That's such a Southern thing to say. That's like a little bit of an insult.
I said, I'm never coming back.
Oh, no.
But I have come back. It's just, a little crushing, but that's okay.
Well, yeah, life
we
is like
all
that.
need, fitness goals. That's so important.
Right.
And in pageantry, it's important, right?
Absolutely. Well, because, and it goes back to your mental health. Because I feel like with mental health, it's a mind body, it's a holistic approach. Because if you're like, for me, when the pandemic hit and I wasn't able to go to the gym or be social, that really took a toll on me emotionally and mentally. And part of it is the fitness aspect. Because I feel like as you push yourself, you're like, you go that extra like half mile, or you go a little faster than you thought you could, or you do a little more weight. You get this confidence boost that then you carry out with you into the world.
Absolutely.
And so it's like these little incremental boosts for your confidence that then help you. So do you work out? I mean, what's your regimen like?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I do. So I do cardio a lot. And then I love Pilates. The Miss Keller organization actually has a sponsor called Body Bar Keller. And it's a Pilates place. And I absolutely love it. And I love Pilates. And so me personally, I kind of stick like in those two lines. I want to get into weight training, but I'm a really big cardio girl. So I don't know if I'm going to do that.
What cardio? What kind?
Me personally, I'm just like the basic, normal, like jumping jack, push up, Herkies.
Is
like
that basic? I'm thinking treadmill.
Right.
I mean, I love the treadmill.
I like just put me on the treadmill.
The basic.
The Stairmaster is amazing.
I get winded in like a minute on that thing, which is why I don't do it.
Okay, so there's this like, I guess, set routine on TikTok that I found from one of the ladies that I follow.
Okay.
And I do her workout routine on the Stairmaster. Now, you're going to feel very, very drained afterwards, but you're going to start seeing results and you're going to start feeling really, really good afterwards.
I feel like we're going to have to share that information with me. I have a handle. That's it so far on TikTok. I haven't actually ventured into that world yet, but I feel like it's necessary at this point. It's not going anywhere.
It's not.
I mean,
going
at first,
anywhere.
I remember back 2019 or whenever it first came out. We were all, I think people were kind of like, I don't know. And then when pandemic hit, people just it blew up. And
TikTok is the hugest source of information. It has surpassed Google.
Really?
People will go to TikTok
they go there instead of Googling
seek
things.
information
from real humans.
Yes.
I actually can admit that I do that because I was trying to figure out how to make these cupcakes. I didn't even go to Google. I went to TikTok and I just typed in the search bar how to make cupcakes. And there was this lady and I just watched her. Anything that I kind of want to know, I go to TikTok.
Yeah.
So it's just...
So it's the next gen Google, basically.
It really is. It's already surpassed Google.
That's like fascinating.
Get on board. Those of us of a particular age have to get on board.
Well,
right?
I love Instagram.
They're gonna get. I
like
love
Instagram.
I was just like,
it's changed. It's more reels than photos.
Well, I'm okay with that.
I am
because I like both. I love storytelling. So my background with being a filmmaker, like to me, I know what clips I want to get to put it together, and then I just throw it together at the end of the day and pick a song and make sure that wherever, if I got a dog image anywhere, that's the one that the thumbnail is, because people love the dogs. I'm like, you'll see on Keller Pointe, you're like, why are there dog photos? Because it's like I was at an event and there was a dog and I'm like, and that's the picture I'm using. People like dogs.
Dog lovers.
Dogs and children. Well, and I'm a cat person, but there's no reason I can work a cat into the Keller Pointe social media.
You can try.
I mean,
there's the dog. The Keller Pointe has the dog walk, right? Not the dog walk, but the dog run.
Canine Point, right there. And then they have the park run every Saturday.
Dogs there, so it's great.
Oh, believe me, when I have a chance, I go over there and get some content, and then find a dog and use that as the.
I love.
Is it still called a thumbnail? What do you call it? A cover?
Your cover
image?
Page or your cover image.
Page? Yeah, I kind of still
when you do a reel.
I still say thumbnail.
Okay. In my head, it's a thumbnail because that's what you do for like YouTube and stuff.
Right.
Yes.
Thumbnails.
I mean, I still say thumbnail because usually some people kind of like lean in that cover page part.
Yeah.
But I mean, thumbnail is...
I think that's like...
Gonna keep.
Yeah, I think that'll stick for a bit. Because it's kind of all platforms. Page is not all platforms though.
Page?
the word page.
Oh, right.
Because we were talking about TikTok.
Right. No, it's not a page.
Earlier.
Not a page. But
and we needed our expert to explain to us.
Yeah.
It's not a TikTok page.
It's not a TikTok page. It's a TikTok account.
Because you have like a TikTok account, then you have an Instagram account, a Facebook page, and a Snapchat profile.
So explain to me, Snapchat. Like I was so excited back in 2016-ish because they had so many cat, what do you call images that you can put filters.
Yes. Right.
I was so excited about that. And I was doing so much with Snapchat. And then they kind of died off. And now they're back, which is really confusing.
Snapchat kind of took a shift. Because I'm going to admit to you.
I know that advertising is putting a lot of money into them. I've heard like where advertising dollars are going a lot to Snapchat, and I don't understand why.
Snapchat took a big shift because, as teens now, we kind of use that as our communication source.
Yeah, instead of texting.
I use Snapchat a lot, and I could, some of my friends use Snapchat a lot. And it's, how can I say, it's more so a communication app now. Other than it being the filters, cute pictures, and posting on your story. I mean, you can post on your story too. That's also a way that we can figure out like where our friends are, what we're doing, if there's weekend plans. But other than that, I feel
like... So you create FOMO by using it?
I mean, kind of, yeah.
You're like,
But there is a lot of advertising going on.
Yeah, I've heard that like the dollars where they're putting them, that a lot of it's going to Snapchat, even over Google.
Didn't realize that.
You'll go to the homepage of Snapchat. At the top, it'll have your friends' stories.
Okay.
And then in the second like bar, it'll have like your subscriptions. So like, let's say like you added like Beyonce on Snapchat and she posted something on her story, it would be right there.
Okay.
And then underneath, it's like daily news. And then you have the New York Times and a lot of news people and a lot of news sources are putting their platforms on there too.
So smart. Yeah. I mean,
because social media is not going away, right? It's not going away. So we have to get on board and get involved. A lot of the title holders use social media to spread their platforms and their messages, and they're actually required. I require my title holders to post about their social impact initiative every Tuesday and Thursday.
Oh.
Every Tuesday and Thursday, you'll see something from Kennedy about her platform. And you know that we have Miss Tarrant County and Miss Roanoke, and Miss Keller has a teen as well.
Okay.
So it's their job to post.
Okay.
And for me, that teaches them to dig deep in their platform. So when they have judges interview at Miss Texas next July, they are well equipped and knowledgeable about what they are talking about.
Oh, I love that.
About their particular platform.
Yeah, I love that. Because I love your topic. I'm all about positivity. And I wanted to find out more. You said, how did you arrive at that? I know you were talking about coming out of the pandemic and how things had gone a little, they were more challenging, I guess, and mentally it was more difficult. But you said that you came out of it with more of a positive outlook and that kind of framed what your platform is.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm curious as to how, like, what did you do? Did you just make a decision?
Well, I wish it was, at the click of a button, but it took time. And that's one thing that I talk about in my platform is the habits that you can formulate so that you can maintain a positive mindset. Me personally, the biggest habit that I talk about is journaling and then also just meditating or just taking time to yourself. You're going to see a really big difference within your mindset when you're starting to focus on yourself.
Yeah.
And you disconnect yourself from whatever you're doing and what's kind of causing you all of that stress. Me personally, when I was coming out of my junior year going into summer, I kind of disconnected myself from my homework. And I hate to say that. I still got it done. Still got my grades good. But I was stressed every single day about homework. I gave myself Tuesdays and Wednesdays off. I made sure that I gave myself Saturdays off. I didn't want to have to focus on so much that was going on and try to stress myself out.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I came out of it, was just habits. There's different habits that I talk about too.
Oh, I love it. I feel like you're going to have a book one day or something.
I wish.
You can.
I want to.
It's not
very smart.
I mean, it's possible.
I would love to. I mean, I feel like if I had a book, it'd probably be the name of my social impact, The Positive Perspective. And then me personally, I would talk about the key factors in my platform. And so as Michelle talked about, she said that we post every single Tuesday and Thursday. And I'm not going to too much say what this next post is going to be about today, but the title of it is The Subconscious.
Okay.
And that's, there's key factors that
because we're really mean to ourselves.
We can be.
In our head if we're not careful.
We walk into a room before getting ready for this interview. I'm looking at myself in the mirror and thinking, oh, Michelle, I'm saying mean, negative things to myself. And then I go, No, good morning, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Remember what I posted yesterday? It's like,
I love it. I write
good
on
morning,
mirrors.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Right? And you have to tell yourself, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what's happening in the background, no matter what your current status is, or what you may look like currently, you're absolutely beautiful.
You're still yes.
Yes, and you have to give yourself positive affirmations constantly. And you give those positive affirmations to other people too.
Absolutely.
To me, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
When I can make sure, if I see a woman walking past me and she's gorgeous, or she has the most beautiful shoes on, I'm going to tell her, your shoes are gorgeous. Or you look great today.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I was in the grocery store Sunday and this woman had her hair just pulled up in a bun. And I said, what an elegant bun. We're standing at the milk, freezer. And she's like, oh goodness. She said, I just pulled this up. And I said, but it looks good. And so for me, it makes me feel good to tell other people that they look good or that, they've done something well. And positivity.
Absolutely.
Right?
And when I was talking about like your subconscious, she said that she was kind of, talking about herself when she was in the mirror, but it was just in her head. That's something that you do so blindly. Everyone does it.
You got to catch yourself.
Exactly. And I'm not perfect. And even though my platform focuses on the positive perspective and, the positive aspects of mental health, I still catch myself falling in that position sometimes. But it's very important that you're talking to yourself nicely, because you want to perceive yourself in a good way before you can present yourself to others so they can perceive you in that way as well.
Absolutely.
Yes. And in my role as,
I love that
as
she
their
knows
director,
this already in life.
Yes. But we have to be positive for them.
Yeah.
Right? How can I train them? How can I professionally develop them and teach them to be positive if I'm not positive myself? If I'm not projecting the image that I think they should be projecting, then I'm not doing my job.
Surrounding yourself around positive people is very, very important. And
how do you find them though? No, now I need to be finding them after 40. Where are they at?
Right. You know how they talk about, social media can be negative. If you purposely look for positive posts
there's
and
some people
positive
who
things,
just always
then
put
your
positive stuff out there.
algorithm is going to always be positive.
Yeah.
You're not going to see the negative or the nasty side.
If there's drama,
every once in a while. Yes.
That block button you block it very pretty.
Block. Yes. I don't want to think about that. I don't need that.
There you
I
are.
don't like drama.
Exactly.
I like joy and spreading joy.
Spread love like butter.
I love it. Is that your
It's my favorite hashtag.
Oh.
Spread love like butter.
That's so fun.
Yes.
Okay, so back to the organization.
Yes.
Okay. So you have worked for 2-ish years
since 2018.
4-ish.
I'm sorry, 2019 is when we started working and bringing in. So we had our first Miss Keller.
Okay.
Since 1975.
Okay, yeah.
In 2020, Ellie Bro. So we had Ellie Bro, and there was no Miss Texas or Miss America competition in the year 2020 because of COVID.
Yeah.
So she got to hang out with us a little bit longer.
Yeah.
We now call her Miss Keller 2020-21. And she got to second runner-up at Miss Texas. We got her to second runner-up with no interview. I was the interview coach.
Nice.
We really don't use a lot of outside coaches. So I have a partner.
Okay.
Becky Steinsoltz, who owns Rebecca's Runway.
Where you can rent amazing gowns.
Yes.
That's where a lot of the people had gotten their gowns for that gala that one night.
They did. Absolutely. At the Keller ISD Education Foundation. She did. So I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
We were talking about when you started and 2021.
Right, so 2020, 2021. So that's when we got it going and just kind of jumped back into pageantry. There's so many other directions I personally could have gone, but I needed this as an outlet for me. Yeah. This is what I enjoy. I enjoy mentoring young women.
Yeah, mentoring.
I do. And so for me, this also comes together with what I do professionally and with the etiquette programs as well. Mm-hmm. So all of that for me it brings me joy.
Yeah.
And I love watching these young ladies thrive and do so well. And just watching Kennedy right here just makes me proud. It really does. And Kennedy actually came and visited Keller before she was Miss Keller.
Okay.
At the Keller Crawfish Crawl.
Oh,
I invited Miss Grapevine.
Yeah.
We had you were Miss Grapevine's team.
Yes.
Cassidy Scott, Miss Grapevine, and Miss Colleyville came as well.
Okay.
Which was so cool because I remember when I was Carrollton and when I was Grapevine, I met Miss Michelle and I kind of tagged along at a couple Keller events.
Yeah.
And I always just remember telling myself and my mom, I was like, what if I was Miss Keller? I want to be Miss Keller. And I told my mom that. And then I told Michelle that. And I just made it just a mention. And then here I am.
When she won, she looked down at me. I was the first person Kennedy looked at. I'm sitting in the audience on the front row. She, is getting the crown in her head, mouth wide open, and she's looking down at me.
Oh. Oh, did you cry?
I'm a crybaby.
If I could go back to that crowning moment, like I kid you not, I was getting crowned and I told Michelle this like right after the pageant. I got down when they were crowning me and I was like, where's Michelle? Where's Michelle? Where's Michelle? And then I found her and I looked and I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, look, I was like, I miss her. Yes. And then I was like, where's my mom?
Yes. Well, I love that too, learning young that you can set goals and achieve them.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, that's a huge deal.
She's a student at SMU, so she's, clearly doing well.
Right?
As, our current Miss Texas, Avery Bishop, is a law graduate at SMU. She has her JD of SMU. So very bright young women come through these programs. It's important for me to get that out.
Yeah.
And to say that the Miss America organization is the largest contributor of scholarships for young women, over $5 million per year. Yes.
Wow, I did not know that.
If you count like local. So at the local level, these young women were given $1,000.
Okay.
So she got a $1,000 scholarship for being Miss Keller. And then all the other perks that we get working with other businesses like Social Rose will allow them to borrow clothes for events. So, but it's a scholarship competition. And it's important that I drive that home because there's so many beauty pageants, right?
Yes.
And we are still a beauty pageant.
Yeah.
I never want anyone to think that has gone away. It is not. But 35% of their score is judges' interview. Okay. They stand in front of a panel of 7 judges for 10 minutes.
And you mentioned that Westfall.
Rick Westfall, Dr. Westfall.
Was he one of the judges?
He was not a judge. No. He co-hosted our first year.
Okay.
Yes. But we have had some Keller. Andrew Sternke with Juris Disputes was a judge this past year. Librarian Missy Brewer was a judge this past year, and several other people. And that's what we do. I get a very diverse panel of judges, diverse in race, diverse in thinking, diverse culture, in politics, diverse in culture. That's important to me. When the young women walk in and they walk into this cold room with this panel of judges, I want them to be able to see themselves amongst at least one of the judges, right? So that they have a level of comfort. Yeah. And they do that. And again, for 10 minutes, they are asked about their platform. They are asked about their resume. They're asked political questions. And they have to stand there and stand the test of time. And didn't you tie for interview?
Yes, I did. I tied with Ellie Bro, who is the current Miss Tarrant County.
So we do give an award for best interview, and she tied this year for interview. And that's huge. And again, 35% of their score. The other 35% is talent. 15% is on-stage question. Yeah. So again, it's what's up here, not necessarily what's here. And the other 15% is red carpet. Oh. That's the glamour, right? That's the red carpet.
One of my
That's where we get to be beautiful.
Right? Who doesn't love a
That's where we
carpet?
Get to wear the MAC Ruby Roo lipstick.
Well,
that's important.
Oh, okay. So are there any things that you want to debunk about pageants that people theories or misunderstandings?
Yeah,
you guys either have
so many people, and we get asked about this in our personal interviews at local, state, and I'm pretty sure the state candidates at Miss America get asked this question: is what is the stigma surrounding beauty pageants, and what's the stigma surrounding Miss America that you would want to change? Is the fact, like Michelle says, is the fact that it so much so focuses on beauty and what
objectifying
you look like.
A little bit.
Yes. People think it objectifies women and they feel like it sexualizes women. And it really doesn't, especially when it comes to Miss America. Yeah. Miss America is truly an organization that focuses on a girl's mindset and a girl's vision of what she can do, what she can bring to the table, how she's going to change the Miss America organization for the good, what direction she's going to take Miss America in. And that's something that I love about this organization. And then providing scholarships. A lot of young women sometimes don't have the opportunity to be able to pay for their education. If they want to further their education, go into college. Miss America luckily receives a $100,000 scholarship if she wins the crown. And so now she's able to pay for her scholarship.
How do people find out more? Because I love what you're saying, but I feel like growing up, I was not aware of it. Now we have, obviously social media helps, but how if someone had children and they wanted to get them on that track?
So
would be the best
for children, so the children don't compete.
Okay, but I just mean if they wanted to kind of groom
wonderful.
Them to go that direction for later.
So we have a Miss Keller Princess program.
Okay.
So we teach them etiquette. Course.
Yes.
And we teach them a little bit about pageantry, but not too much. We just want them to have fun at this age, but we want them to be around these young women. Yeah. So they see what they're doing. So we have the Princess program, and for information, it's MissKellerScholarship.org is our website. Okay. We're on Facebook. Miss Keller Scholarship.
Okay.
We're on Instagram, Miss Keller Organization. And then each of the young women have Instagram accounts as well. Miss Keller, Miss Tarrant County, Miss Roanoke, and Miss Keller's Teen.
And you have TikTok.
Yes,
and they have TikTok, right?
And that's
and Snapchat apparently, and probably Be Real. We didn't talk about Be Real, but that's another new one.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't?
I don't, which is very
Oh my goodness.
Apparently Be Real is if we were sitting here and I have my phone, people want to know what's going on. Similar to Snapchat. I'm taking a picture of you, what's in front of me, and I take a picture of myself, correct?
Okay.
Selfie. In real time.
Yeah.
So they know it's not just a selfie, what's happening in front of Michelle.
Okay.
Right.
So we see the selfie, but what else is going on?
That's an interesting
picture on
concept.
both sides of the phone.
That's a very interesting concept.
Mm-hmm. And then you can't see your other friends post unless you post to Be Real, which is why I don't have it, because I'm not going to be posting like that.
Like, what is going on? There's so much.
Oh my goodness.
Right? I try to keep up because, again, I spend most of my time with 13 to 26-year-old women.
Yeah.
And my own children are between 19 and 26.
Okay.
So that's, those are my friends. That's my friend group. So I have to keep up with them, right? I know.
Hey, that's great though.
I like to hang out with a bunch of old ladies when you can hang out with young,
younger
fresh
people in my life. They keep the energy going.
It's a fresh perspective.
It is, definitely.
It really is. And I feel like I learn from them just as much as I teach them. Like I know I've been called rigid by some of the candidates. Ellie said, some of the girls say, well, Miss Donato, I don't know if I want to be in her competition. She's really rigid. I am because we have goals, right? You're in this competition to have
regimented.
Fun. Yeah, regimented, sometimes rigid, right? I want them to sit up straight.
Right.
I want them to learn to speak well. If they don't speak well, we're taking words like out of their vocabulary. Wewe're taking all of those words.
Basically was a crutch word of mine. I didn't know that until I did Toastmasters.
So that's why the Miss Keller organization is so successful. And that's why I love Michelle. And that's why a lot of other women love Michelle. And that's why my parents especially love Michelle, is because even though people say she's very strict, she has a reason for it. Right. I like to say, I always tell Miss Michelle, you run your organization like you run Miss America.
Yeah.
Like that.
As you should.
Thank you.
And that is why Miss Keller is so successful. Ellie was successful. Alana was successful. Remedy was successful. And all of her title holders always go out there and, they achieve their goals and they make the Miss Keller organization look good.
Yeah.
And that would not happen if we didn't have Miss Michelle or Becky being the way that they are and having that vision for the organization.
I love that.
Thank you. But the vision is for the organization, but it's for you. The vision is for these young women.
Was the vision. Yeah.
Right. It's for them. We want Miss Texas. We want that Miss Texas crown.
Okay.
I would like to see this summer either Miss Keller, Miss Tarrant County, or Miss Roanoke walk across that stage.
I feel like we want Miss Keller though.
Yeah, we want Miss Keller right to win Miss Texas. That's the goal, because ultimately their goal is Miss America. For me, some young women come in, they just want the professional development, or they want the camaraderie, they want the friendship. We always tell them you're going to be a bridesmaid in each other's weddings. And we just had a former Miss Dallas get married last weekend, and several of the girls were at her wedding. Oh, they were at her wedding, supporting her and helping her. They hosted the wedding. Miss Texas hosted her wedding in her home. Oh, so that's what they do. There's the sisterhood as well. And that's important. So each of them gets something different out of it. So I pick their brain. What is your goal? What can I do for you this year? What do you want? How far do you want to go? You want to win Miss Texas? Let's go. Yeah. We're going to do our best and try to get you there. If it's just the friendship and the camaraderie, that's built in. We have that. If you want to connect with the community,
that's what I was going to say was community. I feel like that's part of what this show is about, is community, because it's so important to be a part of community, both receiving and giving in the community. So that
yes, ma'am.
And for me, it's important for Keller to be seen again. Longtime Keller resident.
A lot more visible.
We have some really we have some game changers in our city. And we are getting a lot of attention, and it's my job to do
traveling
this
flag.
Part of it. Like we did that 2 years ago at Miss Texas. We're going to do it again this year. Yes, we took just to Richardson. Yeah, but it was out of Keller, so we took the flag with us.
Oh well, yeah, especially because you're going to win, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, when I was on the show with Armin, the first one we ever did, we were talking about Fit City, which we're going to repeat annually.
Right.
And I was making jokes. Well, yeah. And they weren't really jokes, because I was like, the winning team. If you want to join the winning team, join our team. Winning team. So you never know. You heard it first here, y'all.
Exactly.
Miss Keller to what? Miss Texas to then Miss America?
Absolutely.
I think that with your platform, I mean,
it's
how
dynamic.
can you not want
Mm-hmm.
to hear more about that? And like, seriously, I think a book could come of it, even if it's just your journals and your steps, super simple stuff that, or a booklet. Like there's just so many ways to create not just only content for online, but tangible content that could be shared with younger generations that, I don't know, do people still look at book type things?
I do. I do. I have a lot of ways that I kind of reach out.
Yeah.
It's more digitally on my social media. I would love to do hard copy things, of course, but I usually have like the highlights, the Instagram highlights. Yeah. So there's certain things that I do because I also talk about the habits that I have. Yeah. And so I have, there's this one highlight and it's Song of the Day. You never know if you posted a song and you reminded that person of that song or that song brought them so much joy. And so you have the Song of the Day. I have quotes that I post, the Mindset Mondays. And then there's also an Instagram TV show that I used to have. It was called Fridays with Kennedy.
Back when IGTV existed, that was a weird little
Remember that?
Like,
yes.
And I took advantage. I took advantage of that app, and I kind of ran with it. And I had my own little way of using that to reach out to other people so they could understand. Even though it was with other pageant title holders, it's still related to real people because I was talking to them about their mental health and how they manage it when they're doing pageants as well.
So let me, if I can. So they are each charged with creating a school program as well. So Kennedy will go into Keller ISD elementary, middle, and high schools and talk about her program. So she's working on creating it now and fine tuning everything. Nothing's ever perfect, but we fine tune it. And she'll be coming into Keller ISD to different schools and talking about her program. So there's more details to come and more content for a book.
I'm excited. Right? I don't know if they're still used, but I have a children's book, so I know that people like the pictures and whatever. So I just always envision, I don't know, I'm old school, so I'm always like, you can make a book out of that and then give it to people. And then because I highlight stuff. Like I love circling and highlighting or folding the page or tearing it out. If it's a good enough page, like on some of the business or inspirational books that I read, I'll like tear the whole page out and like be like, this right here on the wall. Got to remember that. Circle of influence, like focus on whatever it was.
Yes.
But so I wanted to ask you real quick, and I know we're going to close out probably shortly because I don't have a clock and I have no idea how long we've been talking.
Let's just keep talking.
Yeah, I don't know how long we can go. Andrew might have another show, and I just rhymed a lot in that one sentence.
There you go.
So what's going to happen is my next kid's book's coming soon because I'm rhyming way too much to not write.
Mrs. Seuss instead of Dr. Seuss.
Exactly. But I did want to know when you were talking about habits.
Yes, ma'am.
What would you consider your like most important habit, or maybe your most interesting habit that you've curated?
I'd probably say working out, or not necessarily working out, or just the movement of the body. I usually take it as a working out, but if you walk for like 15 minutes a day, or you're jogging, or
as a jogger runs by,
any type of movement that you do that's like a consistent movement, it releases endorphins.
It does.
And those endorphins result in a positive mindset because you're in a much more happier mood.
Exactly.
You're in a much more productive mood, which kind of drives you to get things done during the day. It drives you to achieve your goals during the day, no matter how minor or how major that goal is. So I would say just the movement of the body. Me personally, I take that as dancing too. I like dancing. I like working out. But if for you, it's probably just walking or just jogging or doing whatever.
Hanging out with my cat.
Yes.
Super.
Why not?
Fun. Well, do you have anything else we want to add before we close the show out?
There's so much that we could say. There's so much. Pageants are my passion.
I love
pageants and etiquette, but they are. And there's so many things I want to debunk. You talked about debunking things. I really do want to debunk the fact that we're objectifying women.
Yeah.
We're not. These women, clearly this is something they want to do, so they do. The Miss America organization no longer has a swimsuit competition. So you will not see our candidates on stage in swimsuits. Yeah. So I just want it because there's another organization that does, and I won't mention them, but they do have swimsuits. We are not that organization. We are more about, again, when you look at our scoring, 35% is judges interview. We are more about who is this young woman?
Yeah, and I think health is bigger than like what your body looks like.
Right.
Health is an overall.
You can tell if someone is healthy. Like Avery Bishop, Miss Texas, just won July 25th or 26th. She's already tracked over 26,000 miles. Not walking, but traveling. because the job requires you to be healthy and fit. So that's important, but we can see that in other ways.
Right.
You don't have to be in a swimsuit for me to know if you're healthy.
Exactly.
Right.
So the teens do have a fitness portion.
Okay.
But they wear yoga pants and, the sports bra, and they do a fitness routine, and they're off the stage immediately. Mm-hmm. So that's important for me to share.
And I wanted to mention, when you mentioned fitness, the plank thing that you said, I highlighted that.
Yes, ma'am.
Explain the plank thing. It's not called that. That's just what I'm saying.
It was just...
Explain planking.
Okay, so a plank is just like a normal, plank. You're on your arms like this, body straight on your toes. But in the beginning of my social impact essay, I guess you could call it an essay, but at the beginning, the first paragraph talks about how I eliminate the word can't and input the word can. Yes. And when COVID hit, I kind of took that opportunity and that time to work out and get myself together. And I was working out and I was doing planks. Everyone does like a 1 minute plank, probably just end off the workout. Sure. But I wanted to do 2 minutes. But I kept telling myself I couldn't because it was too hot outside, or I kept making up excuses for myself.
No excuses.
But I told myself I can. And now I can do a 2 minute plank. And actually, now that I work out a lot more, I can hold a 3 minute plank.
Dude, I feel like, wasn't there something in there too where like you wanted people to do a plank if they said the word can?
So my ballet teacher actually made us do planks. Okay. If you said the word can't. So when we were in
So that's why you're so good at it. And now you don't say the word can't.
Right. Yes, ma'am. Because when we were in ballet and we were at the bar and we were holding bar, she would have us hold releve. And when she said take the arm off the bar, I'm holding onto that bar for dear life because that's my balance holder. And I let go and I was just like holding and I was like, I can't do it. She made me plank every time. She made everybody plank. Oh my. And you would plank until she said stop. There was no like, oh, you did it for 60 seconds, so you do it for 90 seconds.
You're like shaking.
Yes, I was.
That's interesting.
Right.
That's an interesting approach. Yes. But I like it.
But it teaches you how to not talk to yourself in such a negative way.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I
don't like the word can't.
I don't either. I love to say anything is possible. Mm-hmm. And truly, because the thing is anything is possible.
Right. And you know what? So that's what we're going to tell people. We're seeking sponsorships.
Okay.
So when I go out, I don't want people to tell me that they can't. I want them to say, we can sponsor these young women. I do a lot of it on my own, but we do have some financial sponsors.
Yeah.
And I just want businesses in Keller to know that it costs a lot of money to do what these young women do.
Right.
It costs a lot of money to get them to the state competition. So we will be looking at sponsors, and I won't be.
And you guys are basically training up the next leaders.
We are. We are. And that's why. So, Remedy, our Miss Keller's outstanding teen, our former, she's at NYU right now. Beautiful campus. Beautiful young woman. She's cashing in on her scholarships. So, that $1,000 is enough to pay for several books, right?
A book nowadays?
Yeah, well, probably just one, but maybe two.
iPad. Download the books on your iPad.
So Alana's at UT Arlington. She's cashed in her scholarships. Mm-hmm. So I want the businesses in Keller and citizens to know that, that's where the money goes. The money goes towards their scholarships. And, there's some operating costs, but I manage that.
So on that note, though, where would, if people wanted to help donate, where would they go?
So the biggest way right now, we don't have like a donation portal. We probably should. I'm typically very shy about asking for money.
Get a QR for Venmo, or I don't know.
We should.
Nonprofits, so it's a little more complicated, right?
Exactly, just a little bit more. But just DM us. DM, that's a teen word. There we are.
Yeah,
DM or email misskellerorganization@gmail.com if you're interested in helping, and let us know what you can do.
Okay.
And of course, I will seek assistance as well. I send letters to different people. We had more last year than we've had this year, but we just have to keep, the traction going and keep it up, because it's important to me to continue with these young women and develop them professionally. And again, it's their job.
Yeah.
When they go for a job interview, there will be no issues. When Kennedy goes for her first quote unquote real job interview, I am confident that she'll at least get the interview.
Well, those even exist in a few years. I'm just kidding.
It may be via Zoom, right? It may be via Zoom, but she'll be well prepared.
Yes.
I love that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't have weights on me today. I'm very sad. But we can do the motion. When I close out the show, I usually do we do a weight.
Okay.
So we say, what are you waiting for? And then y'all look at your camera there and say, get to the point.
Right.
Point.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to pretend? We're going to use pretend weights here, guys.
So we're going to go, what are you waiting for? Get to the point.
Yeah, see, you got it. Okay, so let's close it out. Oh, hold on. I almost forgot one of the most important things that I forgot recently. I have a special hat for you. I know you have your crown, so you can't put it on right now.
Thank you.
But every guest on our show gets a limited edition, unique hat that I created for the Keller Pointe and our podcast guests. So
thank you.
So you can rep us out when you're not wearing your crown, when you're doing your fitness stuff, when you're I don't know.
Oh, I totally would wear this. Thank you.
Well, you're so welcome. Now we'll close the show out. I forgot that like a few times ago. And I was like, oh my God. Okay. You guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. So what are you waiting for? Get to the point.